I'm not sure I've ever seen America's rich and powerful panic this hard. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione was apprehended for the murder of Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, and for once, it feels like a lot of Americans, regardless of their politics, are united against a single enemy, our healthcare system. So this week from Mother Jones, I want to talk about how elites and pundits have failed to shape this narrative and effectively distract either the left or the right. Now, any American watching this knows how predatory our healthcare system is, particularly our insurance companies, and maybe especially UnitedHealthcare. A study in May found that United rejects almost a third of all claims, and often for nonsense reasons. For example, UHC has now deployed an AI to review elderly patients' claims, an AI with a 90% error rate, often overriding those patients' actual doctors. Meanwhile, the company profited almost $22 billion just last year. Now, if social media is anything to go by, after Luigi Mangione allegedly assassinated the company's CEO, many Americans saved their pity, and have continued to do so, even after Mangione's arrest. There's still a lot we don't know and are likely to learn about the suspect. For one, we don't know what exactly led him to take such drastic action, and vigilante justice is pretty much never the answer. But as for the upper echelons of American society, it's been tense as people online living paycheck to paycheck half-jokingly ask, who's next? And for once, money and blustering and culture wars don't seem to be the answer. In fact, all of those tactics just seem to exacerbate the issue. Like, listen to this tone-deaf headline from the San Francisco Chronicle earlier this week. The recent killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson has brought renewed attention to the rising costs of protecting top executives. The Washington Post did something similar, characterizing Thompson as the son of small-town Iowa, who ascended to become the CEO of UnitedHealthcare, appearing to reach new heights. Look, it's really difficult to turn the CEO of a predatory company who made $10 million just last year into some everyman Joe Schmo. That's just not gonna happen, especially when almost half of Americans can't afford their medical bills, partly to pay the exorbitant salaries of guys like Thompson. Now, some people took a less subtle approach with the damage control, like right-wing chuds Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh. Both of them condemned the radical left for cheering on Thompson's murder, but their comment sections told a different story. Thousands of people, many of which identified as right-leaning, attacked Shapiro and Walsh for trying to characterize this as a partisan or left-wing issue. And some even realized that's the whole point. As one commenter so eloquently put it, maybe I've been wrong this entire time. I don't think you actually care about us. I think you just want our money. I think you want us to hate each other. I didn't expect this to be how so many people achieve class consciousness, but hey, I'm not mad about it. And then, of course, mixed into all of this is the right's penchant for double standards and racism. Remember Daniel Penny, the guy who choked out a mentally ill black man on the subway? Well, he was found not guilty of criminally negligent homicide after a jury deadlock on his manslaughter charge. I wonder what Fox News had to say about it.
The Instagram posts from nutbag people, which I was sent in the commercial break earlier, crazy. Like, he's cute, and people celebrating this. This is a sickness. Honestly, it's so disappointing, but I guess we shouldn't be surprised. Gentlemen, thank you so much. And up next, the other big news out of New York, Daniel Penny. A lot of people think he's a hero, and tonight he's not guilty. My take next.
While millionaire media figures were lecturing the masses on why they should mourn Brian Thompson, they simultaneously helped justify another man's death. This tactic is pathetic, to say the least. These outlets are hoping the audience's hatred of black people will outweigh their scorn of the rich. And while I'm sure that worked for at least a few Fox viewers, will it stick the next time that viewer is paying a hospital bill? Look, whatever your opinion on Thompson's murder is, many Americans' lack of sympathy is something real, something we have to grapple with. Many of us have watched our loved ones die, or ourselves sat through years of pain because companies like UnitedHealthcare won't cover medically necessary costs. In fact, they often actively ignore physician recommendations to help their own bottom line. And that's the real problem here, because my health shouldn't be about your profit. In this country, we call Ubers instead of ambulances, take fish antibiotics instead of the real thing, and ignore obvious medical issues because we fear bankruptcy more. And UnitedHealthcare not only allows that, but it likes it. All of those sacrifices that you make, that I make, that we all make, are to help companies like United profit $22 billion. So maybe instead of beefing up their security teams, these companies should put that money towards not torturing their customers. Because it's about damn time these companies make a few financial sacrifices of their own.